Welcome to the Slightly Unqualified podcast, where we are slightly unqualified. I am Matt, one of the two that is a regular here. That is Esteban, aka Khan,
What
uh,
up?
another regular here. How's your how's your life going, man? How's your new job? How's
It's
everything
going
going?
pretty good, man. They got me going, working pretty crazy, but it's going pretty good. I just signed my boys up for some jujitsu, so we've been at the gym for the last 2 days. They're loving it. They couldn't be any happier. I was totally terrified, especially when you have your little ones fighting other little ones.
Yeah,
But they're loving it. The coaches, everybody's really cool, man. So I'm proud. I'm proud of them for showing up and wanting to go back, and then um, them stepping out of their comfort zone. So it's going pretty good.
it's
What
good.
about
It's
you, man?
good. It's a good disciplinary sport.
Yeah, man.
Um, Nothing new with me, man. Just working, getting settled into the new year. Um, No news really on my front. My kid just got like a series of things that are happening right now. He had his shots, he had his tongue tie removed, so just a lot going on with him right now. But other than that, it's no complaints, nothing like that. I did watch a show called Kaleidoscope on Netflix.
Ooh, yeah.
Very good show, very good show. I finished it in its entirety in like 3 days. Not just me though. This is a rare occasion or case where my
Yeah, is
wife
that was
actually
that
looked forward to sitting down and watching it as well with me. So
really?
good show overall.
Yeah,
Giancarlo Stanton is a phenomenal actor. But that's
yeah.
that's that's pretty much all that's been going on with me.
I heard you. I didn't get a chance to get to the movie theaters, man. This past weekend was intense. Had a lot
Yeah.
going on. I didn't get to do. I got to maybe knock out 3 out of the 5 things on my checklist to do.
Mm.
How was or what'd you go see?
I want to see Avatar 2, Way of Water. I had to do a coin flip because recently, the
Hmm.
last like week and a half, there's been a lot of traction for Puss in Boots being like a really, really good movie. Not just like a good
What I
animated
heard.
film, but a good film. So
Hmm.
literally the night of the movie that I went to go see, which is Avatar 2, I asked my wife, "Hey, what would you see, Puss in Boots or Avatar
Yeah,
2?" And she said, "Well, personally, I would see Puss in Boots, but I know you've been wanting to watch Avatar 2, so I just let Google flip a coin 3 times. I landed
yeah.
on heads 3 times, which meant go see Avatar.
Wait. Take that back. Take 2 steps back. Did you Google flip
Yeah,
a
if you
coin?
Google flip a coin, it flips it for you like a little coin on the screen.
That's how I know you're way too young in this world, Matt. You
Yeah.
could have
Well,
just grabbed a
hey,
coin and flip it.
listen, I'm a software engineer, so I take advantage of the software engineering things. Okay.
Yeah, I get you. I
Uh,
get you. I get you. I'm not mad at it.
the next thing I had to decide is the first Avatar, groundbreaking CGI 3D
Hmm.
film, right? So I didn't know if I wanted to watch it in 3D or not. And I'm last week when we talked about this
Yeah,
movie, I kind of mentioned how like the CGI can't be as groundbreaking because the ground that it broke is
yeah,
now brought forward, right? So
for sure.
I was debating whether to go see it in 3D or not. I googled, hey, should I go watch it in 3D? And a reviewer that watched the film said if you're able to watch it in 3D, you need to watch it in 3D. Which is weird because 3D technology hasn't, in my opinion, taken like a step forward and anything like that.
Same here. I feel the same way.
Um, but then I saw this movie, and I haven't felt a 3D experience like that since the 3D Inception, where I felt encapsulated and pulled in the film the whole time. And the three-dimensional depth that's being used in this movie, it's almost like, and I'll have to look up to see what James Cameron vision was for it, but it's almost like James Cameron wanted it to be a 3D movie specifically. Um, so the
Yeah,
groundbreaking CGI that I didn't think was going to be present is
yeah,
very present. Uh, the movie is beautiful, beautiful. There is not one thing that looks CGI. Like you'd believe if you were just
yeah,
nobody, right? If you didn't know anything, you would believe that blue people did exist and that these water creatures things really were existent and they weren't fake. But yeah, I mean, we can get into it if you want. I can give you my spoiler-free review and my spoiler review if you want, or you can
uh,
be
yeah.
spoiler-free only.
Yeah, let's do this. Let me give me your breakdown so I can talk that shit without seeing the movie. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
All right, let me
So
tear it down.
for those who haven't watched it, I'm gonna do a spoiler-free one first. Just I don't want to get into like the plot or anything too deep because
Pocahontas too.
The trailer didn't show anywhere near like the plot. There was no plot present in the trailer, in my opinion.
Yeah, yeah, I
Um,
didn't see one either.
right. So I went in there completely blind. I'm on this big Avatar like person like I am Marvel, where I'm looking at like spoilers or anything like that. I went in there kind of blind. Wherever the trailer show is where I thought was going to happen. So spoiler free review. Beautifully shot film. Beautifully
Yeah,
shot
yeah,
film. I knew Cameron was going to have a beautifully shot film. I knew it was going to be visually stunning. I knew it was going to be, um, what's the word? Not compassionate, but it was going to be,
compelling.
like he wanted you to feel a part of the world as the first
Yeah,
Avatar
yeah,
did. Um, and they encapsulated that perfectly. There isn't a dull moment. It's a 3 hour film, and I felt like every single scene, maybe not necessary, but nothing wasn't necessary. If that makes sense, right? So
yeah, yeah, yeah.
every scene we saw, it had a purpose and it had intention behind it, um, which built up to this great climax, in my opinion. The
Yeah.
climax is well worth the payoff. It is
Mhm.
a long climax. It isn't like one of those like 5 minute things. It's a good 20, 30 minutes of the film is all climactic events. Um, and there's constant peaks. You think it's going to climax here, but then it comes back down and climaxes again and climbs back down till finally get to the grand thing that they're trying to get to. Um, so yeah, good movie, really strong plot. The acting, I don't know how like bad the acting can be given the fact that like it's a lot of CGI based things, but the emotion behind the voice and the confliction behind the voices were there. The acting within the mocap and the actual CGI renderings was really good. Nothing. I have literally nothing bad to say about it. Nothing. Um, in 3D, man, I if there's a movie I recommend watching in 3D ever, this compares to the first Avatar. It's this film, dude. I, the technology James Cameron has is the same as most other filmmakers, but for some reason James Cameron just makes it work so much better, and it makes you wonder, like, why is 3D the way it is when it could be this? So if you're gonna watch it in 3D. Um, yeah, good movie. The thing he said last week that we got into about him saying the Fire Tribe thing and seemed like a more
Yeah,
uh, darker part of the Navi people. I get it. I get it. And I'll get into it in the actual spoiler review.
yeah,
But
yeah, for
in
sure.
my opinion, 11 out of 10. I'm probably going to watch it again after I watch Puss in Boots. Um, I think it's one of those films where if there's 3 Marvel films out at the same time as that movie would still do really well. That's how good that
Wow,
movie is, in my
that's saying
opinion.
a lot.
Um, so yeah, spoiler free review.
That's pretty good, man. I was there's some comedians that I had listened to while at work, and some of them were just like way too long of a movie. They could have cut stuff out, and I was reading a couple articles and people who were like diehard Avatar fans. And if you're a diehard Avatar fan, and that movie came out years ago,
Mhm.
and those dudes are saying, yeah, there were some spots in this movie where they could have shaved that out, or they didn't have to do that. What would be your number one gripe if you had to pick a gripe about the movie? What would be that number one?
So my number one gripe, which if you watch the movie, you being a Star Wars fan and being so passionate about how training works and how vital training is to mastering something, you wouldn't mind this. Me, I mind it. I don't need to see an hour and a half of these kids and this family learning the way of water. I don't need to see it. Um,
See,
is
that's
it
something I get crazy about.
yeah, is it intentional? Is it purposeful? Is it a waste of time? No, it's not a waste of time at all. I understand why they do it, and I wasn't bored. I wasn't like this is dragging on. It's just like if I had to pick something bad about it, it was just like, okay, I get it. These kids and this family, they've
Yeah,
learned how to live off the water now.
yeah,
Um,
yeah, yeah.
on the flip side, looking at like how I know you look at films and look at the importance of these things, I think you would have appreciated that part of it a lot because they go
Yeah, yeah,
really in depth into every bit of skill that comes back later for those kids and for the family,
yeah,
and how they train to get there over time. So I don't think it's a necessary. I don't think it is necessary. I can go either way with it. I don't mind it. I don't dislike it. Um, but yeah, that's my one gripe, I would say.
gotcha. What are you looking forward to in the next movie? Or is there any like a certain character? Is there a fight coming up that's kind of, or is that going to spoil the next movie or this movie if you talk about it?
If you personally don't mind spoilers, we can put a spoiler alert right here, and I can just get into it.
Yeah, you go for it, man. If you haven't
Right.
watched it by now, even me, it's still not going to take away from the movie, and I want to see it in theaters. Most likely, I think me and Brenda are going to probably go Saturday or probably go Friday night. I think after jujitsu, I think we're going to go watch it.
Yeah, perfect. So spoiler review. Everyone out there, spoilers ahead. Fast forward 20 minutes, whatever it is. I'm gonna get into the weeds of it. So, the kids, man. I when I first saw the trailer, I saw no signs of the mother in the trailer directly. I saw Navi people fighting. I didn't look closely to see if the mother was one of them. As far as I know, Zoe Saldana was not part of the movie, which I don't. I have to double check it because if she was, they would have probably hyped it up a lot. Which let me check. Oh, she actually was. Okay. Well, fair enough. I did not know Zoe Saldana was part of the movie, nor did I see the mother in the trailers. Um, so when I first went into this film, I thought the mother's going to die at some point. Um, and thus the father's going to take on the role of being a father and a warrior and protector of his family and the tribe that he's a part of. Um, I thought it was going to be based upon him and his tribe moving to the way, like to water and learning together,
Yeah,
not going to an already established tribe. So, one, the mother survives the whole movie, which, um, as someone who was like anticipating her death, was
yeah,
not confusing per se, but I was like, okay, I thought she was going to die, kind of a thing.
yeah.
Um, and I also thought this family was so close and tight knit together, and the stakes are not high enough for someone not to die. If someone close to the family doesn't die, the stakes aren't as enticing to come
Hi.
back.
Yeah, makes sense.
So getting into the spoilers with that precedent, I didn't know who the villain was going to be. I didn't know what the premise was. I knew nothing about this movie other than what I saw in the trailer. All we saw in the trailer was
Not a lot. There's not a lot.
one girl talking to her father. I thought it would only be one
Yeah,
kid. There's four kids, and the girl talking to the father is adopted, and she's I think the second or third of the babies.
yeah.
Um, I thought it's gonna be about this girl having an attachment to the water world, and the father being of the forest tribe, having to like get his people to move with that for protection. I didn't know protection from
Yeah,
what. So fast forward to the film, and the freaking colonel from the first movie is back, which I also didn't know that.
I did read that he survived. I don't know how he survived, but
Yeah, so
it doesn't.
getting into the spoilers. He's an avatar now. Like he's a Navi, a
How?
Jarhead Navi. So he looks very different than the rest of the Navi. Him and like I think 10, 15 other people that were
Wow.
part of his company. They look like Jarheads pretty much, or sorry, look like Marines. um,
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
and so
Guys are dicks, so they can be called jarheads.
uh,
Yeah,
so that when I first saw that, I was excited. I was like, okay, this here's the villain and here's the
yeah.
premise. Um,
Like here we go.
I'm not gonna get into like how they did everything because as
Yeah, yeah,
important as
yeah.
it is, it's not important to what I'm talking about here. Um, and he actually had a son, I guess, that colonel, and that son ended up having to stay on the Navi world when all the other humans left, because you can't put a baby in cryo sleep, I guess, and he was like a baby.
Yeah,
So there was like three or four humans that stayed that were like um, allies to the Navi people, like the scientists that were there to actually do scientific things instead of actually cause terror. They all stayed, and that little
yeah,
boy
yeah.
stayed as well. That little boy ended up getting close to the family, um, but that little boy is the son of the colonel, so that comes into play here. Um,
Mm.
Long story short, there's a bunch of stuff that happens. The kids have separate individual things that make them special. The firstborn was a son, and he was a warrior that his father was actively trained throughout the film to be a warrior. Um, and you fall in love with like the family as a whole. Um,
Yeah, yeah.
the family dynamic is amazing. there's a clear distinction of like how the dynamic works within the tribe and with the families directly. Then them having to move and fit in. So the tribe didn't move as a whole; just his family did, because he wanted to save the forest tribe from this
Yeah.
colonel that came to kill them all, by going somewhere where the colonel couldn't find them and going somewhere where they could move quickly, which the water obviously is.
Yeah.
You can move quickly. Um, so he goes to meet the tribe, and the tribe takes him in as like a refugee,
Yeah. That's cool.
and he says, "But you can't just stay here. You have to actually contribute," um,
Which is how it should be.
which is how it should be. Yeah. So in order for
Yeah.
him to contribute, he's like, "We're going to teach you the ways of water," pretty much. So it goes into the whole other part of the lore of the Avatar world, which I think is great, because in the first film we see all these tribes, and
Yeah.
this one actually uh, and ties into the tribe that fought with them in the battle. Uh,
Yeah.
so that dynamic was great. There was ups and downs with that family, and then with the royal family of the actual like ocean world. Uh,
Yeah.
there's one kid in particular who was like a troublemaker. He's the second born, I think, the second son. Um,
Hmm. Which is always something.
yeah, and he gets into the weeds a bit, but he's also I don't want to say the most talented. So he's the most talented
Was
in the
gifted.
water, in the
Uh.
water specifically. And uh, the adopted daughter, she's special, and she's special
Yeah.
because she has an attachment to like their god, Awa,
Yeah.
of the earth, and she can hear and feel Awa directly, and she can control all the elements within Avatar, pretty much,
Yeah.
um, or within Pandora, I should say. Um, So she's the most gifted, but he's the most gifted specifically with water, and it's very apparent that he has like attachment to these animals that are in the water. He can hold his breath better than anybody else can in the water. He saves his dad at one point from drowning by teaching him how to hold his breath quickly.
Yeah.
Uh, so stuff like that.
Yeah. That's pretty cool though. I like how they went into like the family dynamic instead of being like we're all cool. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
Like, and there's actually struggles. That sounds pretty cool.
yeah,
I think I'm gonna enjoy that.
yeah. The family dynamic is really good, and the older brother, the oldest brother being like the protector of the family is very apparent. Um, and then the second brother like kind of not being mad about it, but like I'm not the boss of me kind of a thing.
Yeah, the
It's
whole
also very
Raphael
apparent,
Leonardo thing.
same exact thing pretty much.
Yeah.
Um, but it's great. The name is great. There's a baby, like a little, not baby, but a little girl, probably like Jack. I don't want to say,
Yeah.
yeah, that age. Um, but with the family dynamic, someone had to die. I was like, I'm getting too
Oh
close to
damn.
all this family for someone
Yeah.
not to die, and if no one dies, the sequel or the next one coming up wouldn't be as worth it to me.
Yeah.
So I was waiting for the mother to die. Mother never dies.
The
Um,
oldest brother.
Jake never dies, so I'll let you, experience who dies
Yeah.
on your own. But the two parents don't die, and the person that does die, uh,
Yeah.
it hurts, man. It hurts. And the crazy part is, as much as like it hurts when he or she dies, uh, it's like not a brief moment. It's like a good, I don't know, 5 6 minute scene, but they're
Yeah.
right back into the action of we have to go
Like no
rescue
warning.
our other
Yeah.
kids. So I and Jake being the leader and being the father is like, we need to get it together now. I need you with me now. And the mother
Yeah.
goes crazy. Um, but they fight, they win, they get their kids back.
Yeah.
The colonel died. Jake like makes the colonel pass out underwater, which means you
Damn.
think he's
Hopefully
dead,
this fool's
but
dead, dude. Gosh damn.
he's not dead. He in the movie he's not dead. That's what leads you to like want to go for more because this is the second time they think they killed the demon, right? And
Yeah.
and the person that saves him is ironically the son that
Yeah.
is his son. Um, which that dynamic is really interesting too, and I think that's going to be something that's going to be really cool to see in the next 6 films or whatever.
Yeah.
Um, and then the movie ends with Jake and the mother burying one of their kids, which is
Yeah.
an awful scene.
The worst
Uh,
thing in the world.
Yeah. Ends up burying
Yeah.
one of his kids. And then he does the narration thing like he does in the first movie.
Yeah.
He narrates out the whole film, and this one he says, "I understand now that we can't be the ones being defensive. We have to take the fight to them and go offensive now,"
Mhm.
which leads into James Cameron's aggressiveness of the Navi. It's finally time to see the aggressive, darker
Nature.
nature of the Navi. So
Yeah, that's
it
fire.
makes sense to me now. Um, and now that they know that this water tribe exists and where they're at geographically,
Yeah.
I could see them having to move somewhere else again and learning, the ways of fire,
Yeah.
and be more aggressive with that. So it leaves me wanting more. Like I want the movie like tomorrow. Like I
Yeah.
want
Yeah.
it's going to come out tomorrow. Um, it's good, man. Um it's really good.
So on what would you place it on your mantle of favorite movies? Is it like so two categories? Is it your is it in your top 10, and is it watchability wise? Is it something you can keep going back and watching over and over again, or is it like that's a good story and glad I watched it, maybe I want to watch it now and again, but great story? Like what is it for you?
It's rewatchable for sure. More rewatchable than the first movie.
Okay.
Like I can watch that. I am confident if I can see that movie multiple times. Uh, I think the only drawback to it is it's kind of long, right? It's like Lord of the Rings. Like I can watch Lord of
Yeah,
the
it's like
Rings.
3.5 hours, I think.
Yeah, I can watch Lord of the Rings
Yeah,
all
all
day,
day.
but the problem is it's 6 hours long, right? Um,
Yeah.
so that kind of thing where I would love to rewatch it over and over and over again, but I have to make sure I have 3 hours of my day allotted to this.
Yeah, that's a long
Um,
time, man.
yeah, which is worth it, but your busy life,
Yeah, for
Um,
sure.
is it in my top 10 of all time films? Like my favorite films?
Yeah.
Uh, my favorite movies? No, I don't think so. I have to really think about that though. Um, is it like one of the best movies I've ever seen?
Yeah.
Yes, 100%. And like the thing is one of right, so that can mean top 50 of all time that I've seen. Um,
Yeah.
but I it's better than the first one. Doesn't I know to you that doesn't say much.
Yeah.
Um,
No, I think the first movie's good. It just I don't think it's my cup of tea. I think visually it's stunning for what it was at the time. Nobody could touch it. You know what I mean?
mhm,
I just felt like I wanted more character development than what they kind of did. And what it sounds like there's way more
a
character
ton.
development in this. So I think that might give me the hook of how Star Wars gets you the hook or Lord of the Rings gets you a hook. That this one could be the one. You know what I mean? And I do want to bash it from the crowd until you know what I mean. I go and watch the movie, but I can easily stand here and be like, yeah, I'm wrong. This movie's it needs to be put up there with some of the greats. What's up, Mo? But yeah.
The 12-year
Uh,
gap, I will say.
oh, so
Uh,
there's a 12-year gap from the first movie to this
no, I'm
one.
talking about like the 12-year, like how long it took Cameron to make the
Oh,
sequel.
okay. Yeah,
Was it worth a 12-year wait? As someone who like wasn't anticipating the second one,
yeah,
I, if James Cameron did this level of quality every 12 years and made this thing go on for 70 years, I'd be okay with it. That's how good of a product this is, in my opinion.
oh, gotcha. Yeah, it's worth it. It's sometimes better to not like. I can't remember what movie it was. Like Harry Potter. It was like I love the Harry Potter movies. I think they're a great movie. I think the series it gets better and better, and I think they didn't climax halfway through the series. Yeah, I think it was good. Um, I could have waited longer though. You know
Yeah.
what I mean? I could have waited maybe an extra year or maybe even two. But yeah, I definitely understand what you're saying when people want it now versus hey, let me give you a perfect product
Hmm.
and wait a couple years or 2 more years or 3 more years for that sense. I just think there he needs to capitalize on um, the fact that Marvel's just not there yet and get these movies kind of in before Marvel really gets it going because I don't know how it stacks up against other Marvel movies, in my opinion. But once King the Conqueror's kind of MCU starts to go live, it's going to be very hard to compete with them. So I
Yeah.
think that's kind of
Well,
why
which
he's.
which for
finding
Disney
them out.
is not a problem, right? They own both. So like,
True.
hey, go
That's
watch
true.
one of our films. We don't care. For James
Yeah.
Cameron, I could see that being an issue budget wise, but
It's true. All right, especially with investors, you know what I mean. I'm pretty sure it was a significant. How much money did they spend on this movie to get it
I can
made?
look it up right now. Our Way of Water. I mean, obviously they made their money back, but
Oh yeah, tenfold probably.
we're talking about like in a competition environment. Uh,
Yeah,
their budget was 250 million US dollars, which is pretty high. That's a lot of money.
that is a lot of money for a CG. It's weird because Pirates of the Caribbean was one of the number one most expensive movies. I think they're more than Endgame, more than Infinity War, and wow,
Yeah, so
that's
I'm
an
telling you, man,
that's crazy.
when you watch this movie,
Hmm.
you are convinced these things are real, right?
Yeah,
There, I could pick CGI flaws out of a lot of things. I
yeah,
even like down to like the textures of their skin and water when they're moving, kind of a thing. Is like every pixel on this screen is like animated, like graphically pleasing, like
yeah.
to the pixel. It's crazy, man. And this is
That's
in
crazy,
3D.
man.
Imagine watching
Yeah,
it not in 3D.
I think the last 3D movie I watched was like Tron, the last Tron that came out. No, no, I lie. I lie. Didn't I watch a 3D movie with you? I think we watched Thor, one of the Thors.
Yeah, probably. But
Yeah,
those weren't even made to be 3D. Like those are
yeah,
just
they're just kind of capitalizing. But I
yeah.
think the last movie I watched that was like made for 3D was Thor. I mean, not Thor. Was Tron. Oh man, so you like the movie? That's awesome, man. So
Yeah, I'm gonna
segueing
go
off the
see it again.
movie, I'm gonna try to take Brenna to go watch it this weekend. But segueing off that, speaking of Tron, you see that they're the January, February, March, April they release the new Tron ride at Disney World. Man, I wish it was Disneyland, but you know, beggars
Space.
can't be choosers. Then space for sure. So
Yeah.
I was watching it or watching a trailer and a cutscene of somebody talking about it, and dude, it looks so good. I love the
Hmm.
Tron movie. Tron Legacy. It did get crapped on, but I thought it was a great movie for what it was. But yeah, man, it looks so good.
Yeah, there was a lot of Disney park news yesterday. Actually, a lot.
Oh, what else did you
Uh,
hear?
um, more towards Disney World.
Hmm.
Uh, I think so. The Tron ride. First off, I've been looking forward to this. I wanted to
Yeah,
go to Shanghai when I first saw that ride. Like, oh, I want
yeah,
to
dude,
experience this ride. Uh,
it's
I still
crazy.
want to go to Shanghai, but if it's gonna come
Yeah, me
here, then
too.
it's a little better. Um, there's a
Oh my
lot of
god.
like Disney park news. A lot of them cater to Disney World, to be honest with you. But I think Iger is trying to figure out, and I don't know if I can attribute it to Iger or not, or if this has been in the works for a while, but it's just too coincidental for me to think that it wasn't uh, like a result of Iger coming back. But they're kind of giving you more bang for your buck. So like photo passes are included now for rides for
Oh, that's
Disneyland
pretty cool.
specifically. Um, let me click on this real quick.
Yeah, go for it.
You can now park hop by 11 a.m. instead of having to wait.
Oh, so you can get
Uh,
California Adventure, or which one opened first, Disneyland or California Adventure?
Disneyland.
Oh, that's pretty cool.
So let's see. There's also going to be its lowest price ticket option for 2 months straight. It's going to be $104 a day. Um, so
That's not bad.
they're making things different. So photo pass and then the Magic Key program. There's going to be more opportunities to join, which it's been closed out for a while. And that's it for Disneyland, but Disney World, they had quite a few different things that happened. Let me see if I can find them. Also, did you see Disney the Paris? They got a new Avengers show with drones and everything.
Oh no, I didn't see that. Do you have
There's
anything on YouTube about it or no?
I don't know. I don't know if they do. But it's like a new holographic show, but with drones and everything. It's
Oh,
pretty
that's tight.
crazy.
Yeah,
Um,
man.
yeah. So Disney World, Disney World, Disney World. This is Disneyland, Disney World. Um, so this is gonna sound crazy to you, but the Disney Resort at Disney World didn't have complimentary self parking. You had to pay for parking no matter what, whether you stayed
At
there or
Disney
not.
World.
Yes. Um, so now they're gonna have no cost parking, which is a
Yeah, I
thing
remember
that.
that. That shit broke our pockets, man. When we were there, it was like
Mhm,
$25 every day.
mhm. And then now you get to download your digital photos from attractions when you purchase Disney Plus or Disney Genie Plus.
Yeah.
And then to Disney World specifically, you can now, or annual pass holders, can now visit after 2 p.m. without a reservation. So,
I don't know,
uh,
understand how that would be like worth it. You know what I mean?
yeah, I think, well, to the credit of Disney, they're undoing things they've done in the past, right? Which is a step in the right direction.
Yeah,
They are making more bang for the buck, which even if it's like
I can
something
see
you
that.
and I won't use, they're going in the right direction. Um, they're opening parks up to more guests at more times, um, trying to get lower ticket costs as well. Um, Bob Chapek, when he took not when he took over, but close to when he took over, his idea
Yeah,
was constrain the parks, make it as limited people as possible, and hike the ticket prices up. Therefore, it
I feel like
outweighs
that's
each other.
terrible
Um,
idea.
yeah, and Iger is kind of coming in and saying, no, let's just do the opposite. Let's put
Yeah,
ticket prices back down, and let's make the park available for people throughout the day, um, so we can get more guests in here. Now, the drawback is, I'm not gonna lie, Bob Chapek. I had some of the until recently. I had some of the youngest, or not youngest, some of the lowest like queues in line that I've had ever. I
yeah,
was walking on some rides pretty much.
yeah. That
Uh,
time we went in August, we walked in and walked out like we hit everything before like 6 o'clock, dude. It was crazy.
right. So
Yeah,
the guest experience was great in my opinion. It just cost me more, a lot more than
yeah,
before. Um, I personally don't mind if the ticket's cheaper with more guests. I think the epitome of Disney
yeah.
is having families go and it being affordable for families. That's the point of
Definitely.
why Disney made parks. Um, so, in my opinion, step in the right direction. I think there's a long way to go, but I think with Iger at the helm and
Long
this
way to
coming
go.
out, I think there's at least hope now for us Disney fanatics to look at that and say, okay,
Yeah, for sure.
it's going in the right direction again. We're going back to being a better company.
And then coming from a larger not a large family, but a pretty big family, five of us. I think them making it easier on the middle family income kind of thing where we could get out there more for a little less and yet still spend money there without having to go, damn, I have to pay for parking. Looks like I'm not buying a t-shirt. You know what I
Yeah,
mean?
yeah.
Like that kind of stuff. I think that's a plus for everybody, and I think there's nothing wrong with getting more bang for your buck. And I'm definitely in for that.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's gonna
Agreed.
be cool.
Agreed.
Oh man. So I'm wearing my Buck shirt. We got into the playoffs. We snuck in, barely made it.
Makes me
It's your
sick.
Eagles. Your Eagles, man. They look good. The hard
Of
part is
course. Of
if
course we
we
do.
beat these Cowboys this week, we play you guys.
Yeah, so two things. One, I can promise you that the Philadelphia Eagles are the organization least afraid of Tom Brady. That's the first thing. Besides maybe the
Yeah,
Giants. Uh, Second thing is
I hate the Giants.
Jalen Hurts last year ain't Jalen Hurts this year, my brother. This
He
is
is
a
not.
different
That
Jalen.
that is
This
a madman.
this is a different Eagles team. This is a different Bucks team.
Yeah,
So
Pee-wee football team right now.
I'm not gonna lie. I feel comfortable either way. I know Dak. Oh, I don't want to say Dak chokes, but I know Dak doesn't do well in the playoffs.
He does not.
Uh, I know we can. I know we have the capacity to beat Tom Brady.
Yeah,
We're a well coached team. I think we're well coached and we have good talent. It's a unique
yeah.
combination.
And when
So
it hits, man.
it hits,
Like
man.
you guys ain't nothing nice. I can tell you that. You guys, the Niners, the Bengals, dude, this is a good playoff bracket, dude. I feel like any team that gets hot is just gonna steamroll. It used to be a couple years ago, it was like KC, who can beat KC? And then now it's like KC better step it up, man. Like, so
yeah, it's interesting.
let's do this. Let's see. Let me see the brackets real quick.
We're gonna call it.
Yeah, let's do. Let's call wild card. Who do you got for wild card schedule?
Let's see. Playoffs. Wild card round. Okay, I got the games right here in front of me. You pull the bracket up?
I think I did. Okay, I don't have the bracket, but I have like the games on who's playing. I have no, that's not looking. Let's go images real quick. Yeah, I don't have the bracket up. Oh, there it goes. Schedule bracket. Okay, nope, that is not this year's. I was like, whoa, none of those teams are even in the playoffs.
Okay, I got it here.
Okay, what you got?
All right, I'm gonna show it or
no? You could just talk us through it.
Cool. So let's go Jacksonville and Chargers. Give me a brief why as well, like a brief 10-second, 30-second why.
Shit, I'm going Chargers. There, first game, Chargers.
Okay.
I'm gonna write this down too. So, okay. I'm going Chargers because I feel like the Chargers are a more complete team. I feel like they didn't get a lot of hype this year, but I feel like they did very well. I felt like they were always a contender. You know what I mean? Like they were they're doing pretty good. Jacksonville, I feel like Jacksonville kind of barely made it.
Interesting.
I feel like Jacksonville, it's new to them. You know what I mean?
Definitely.
So yeah. I think they're going to be playing, but I just don't think they're going to bring it around.
So Jacksonville's the 4 seed, Chargers are the 5 seed. So it's not like it's like a far big gap or anything like that. I think it's going to be 2 good quarterbacks playing a good game. I think it's 2 great running backs, Eckler and Etienne.
Yes.
I am fairly confident the Chargers will choke. So I'm taking Jacksonville. Jacksonville, they've come to play this year, man, and they have players, which is a first for Jacksonville. They got players. So I do think the Chargers probably have a better balanced team, like to your point. I just think that's not gonna. I just don't. The Chargers, man. I never trust the Chargers. I just can't do it. Even with Justin Herbert, there, I can't do it.
That's kind of what I'm leaning on the most is Justin Herbert, because Justin Herbert is Justin Herbert. I like his Ezekiel Elliott, not Ezekiel Elliott. What the hell, Austin Eckler, a lot. So I think he's going to do very well, but I feel like Jacksonville's defense is going to fall apart. I don't think they're going to be able to hold.
Yeah, to me, this one's a coin toss, in my opinion.
All right, so what you got? Niners, Seattle.
Niners, Seattle.
That one's going to be.
Listen here, all right?
And dope shirt, by the way. I like your shirt, man. That's dope.
Shirt. Thank you.
Yeah, that's fire.
This will make it a little controversial, okay? Seattle versus San Fran.
Speaking of the mic, Big Daddy, tell them what's up.
Give me San Fran, man. What are we talking about here?
Yeah. I was going to say, they could do a hot take on Seattle versus 49ers. I was holding my breath.
No, listen. Gino's been great. Kenneth Walker is great. But this is the Niners, man. The Niners have shown that they have no quarterback for the last, 30 years for all I care. And they somehow get it through their defense. I don't think they're going to win the championship or anything like that. Philadelphia is there. But this is not – the Seattle might not score more than 10 points, man.
Yeah, I'm thinking they're probably going to score 7, and that's it. And I wouldn't. That's me giving them some. Like my boy Melvin, he was in the chat earlier. Grim, just talking that shit like always. He's a Niner fan, so the fact that he's going for the Niners, I have to go for Seattle. Like Fair enough. It's in my blood. But I am a realistic man. You know what I mean? So I couldn't put money on Seattle. If I give me $1, I'll put $1 on them. But anything more than that, Seattle is not going. No, Like they might win the
Listen,
coin toss. That's it.
I'm
You
I'm
know what I mean?
happy for Geno. I'm glad the Niners are doing good without Russ, and Russ is doing terrible. I
Yeah.
love Geno Smith. I love Kenneth Walker. I love DK Metcalf. This is just not. I don't think it'll be close.
It's not a good look, dude. This is not a game that they want to play wild card. If they were playing somebody else, I would say, hey, Seattle. Pete Carroll, it's Seattle. You can't. But it's the Niners, dog. That's the.
Niners.
I hate the Niners, man. But they're the Niners, man.
It's the
All right,
Niners. You don't got to
yeah,
elaborate more on that. It's the 49ers.
dude. This is a good one because I really want to go one way, but I think it's going to go the other. I think Miami beats Buffalo.
Okay. Elaborate.
I think
Tua's not playing, right?
Yeah, even with Tua
Okay.
not playing,
Cool.
I still think Miami beats Buffalo. I have this weird feeling that Josh Allen's just not going to play. I have this weird feeling that he's just going to, like, I think he's going to come out hot and then it's just going to fizzle. I just have this feeling, and I feel that Miami's defense, which is not a crazy good defense, shows up and they squeak out a win against Buffalo. So I'm going Miami, I'm going Miami.
Cool.
Prove,
Well, give
prove
me.
me wrong, or are you jumping on with me?
No, I'm taking Buffalo.
I'm taking Buffalo. Okay,
Yeah.
that's two different. That's what I had. Chargers. You had Jacksonville. I had Niners, and I have Miami. Okay.
So, Buffalo has two things going in their favor. One, and I don't think Tua has anything to do with it. Listen, the receivers at Miami are so good. You can do a screen every single play. They can go for 90 yards 3 times
Yes,
and get a touchdown.
It ain't that nice.
Yeah. So, I mean, the quarterback play, although, Tua is better than the rest of the QBs they got. It's not like as incumbent as Justin Herbert or Joe Burrow or Jalen being out, right?
For sure.
So give me Buffalo for two reasons. One, I think besides the Eagles, they're the most complete team on both ends of the ball. They have a good defense. They have a really strong offense. And those things usually don't do bad at the same time, right? I've seen games this year where Buffalo's defense has dropped off, but then they're scoring 35 points. And then I've seen games where their offense has dropped off, but then they're holding teams to 10 points. So I just think that it's one or the other will happen, if not both, like it's been the whole year. Plus, the second thing is extra motivation for, DeMar Hamlin, who, because he's out of the hospital now, probably will be attending somewhat to the game and being honored somehow, especially if it's going to be in Buffalo. So those two factors give me Buffalo all day.
Got Buffalo. Okay. Oh man, this is another game that I'm kind of going both ways. Got Bengals, Baltimore. This game is one game I wish I'm not watching in a wild card. I really wish. I wish this was a little farther down the road because I'm a big fan of both teams. But Lamar Jackson coming off being hurt, and you never bet against the Bengals. Like Joey B he's coming out hot. Dude. After last year in the playoffs, them not pulling it through. Man, if I had to put money on the team that goes all the way to the Super Bowl, I'm going to put on the Bengals, dude. I feel like the Bengals are a young team. They have next to, like you were saying, to Buffalo, they're one of the most complete defense. You could step it up just a little bit more, but I go Bengals versus Ravens. What you got?
Yeah, I have this thing with Joe Burrow, man. I had him in fantasy all year. I've seen him win games by himself.
Yes.
I think it really depends on what Lamar Jackson we see. If we see like MVP Lamar Jackson like we did before the injury, then Baltimore, I think, could upset it. I just don't think we do, which sucks because Baltimore's not going to pay the man like he needs to get paid.
Yeah, he needs money.
So I feel bad for Lamar, and I see Joe Burrow just doing Joe Burrow things. Honestly,
I see. What's the running back's name?
Mixon.
I see him just making it nasty on the
Yeah,
field.
if they gave Lamar any help besides Mark Andrews, I think different conversation, right? If they had a good running back or another good receiver, but Burrow has 3 good weapons receiving and a monster running back. Oh, and Joe Burrow is a good quarterback. It's just
and Joe Burrow's that guy. He's
it's
that
just
guy.
hard to beat. It's hard to beat.
Yeah. So
give me
we're on
Burrow.
the same page on that one. All right, this one is not a difficult one for me because I hate one team and I hate both teams, but I'm a big fan of one of the players. You know who that's going to be. I'm gonna go Giants win this game. I'm gonna go Giants win it, but not by like a landslide. It's gonna be like they barely win it. I don't think they go farther than this win, but I'm gonna go the Giants. I'm gonna go NY.
All right. Well, division rival against Minnesota, who I just can't stand. Every time, for some reason,
I hate Minnesota.
For some reason, every time Minnesota plays us, they just act like they can stomp us, and they don't beat us. Like the playoffs, we won the championship. We went through them pretty easily, and then this year when we played them one time, we smacked them, and I mean smacked them.
Gave them that old molly whop.
On the other end, we have the Giants, who hate the Giants.
Yeah, everybody hates the Giants.
So this is a tough one for me to call. I love Justin Jefferson, however.
Yes, huge Justin Jefferson fan.
Massive Justin Jefferson. Jay Jettis, shout out to your record-breaking year. I'm also a fan of Saquon Barkley, man.
Oof, that's my man, dude.
So it's pretty even for me. Like, no, I don't care about either team, but I do care about one player on each team. Give me the Giants. This might be the only upset I see seeding-wise, besides maybe Dallas and Tampa, that I think will be the big thing. I think Brian Dabble is a good coach, or Dable. Sorry, Brian Dable's a good coach. He's got them there in 1 year. Saquon's looking like prime Saquon this year. Danny Dimes is the best quarterback. They don't have the best receivers, but they got Saquon Barkley.
Rumor mills, they're trying to pay Daniel Jones. They're trying to pay him.
Yeah. In my opinion, go ahead. It's wasted cap space. In my opinion,
me too. And I hate the Giants, so throw that money out the window for all I care.
Yeah, it's like when the Dallas paid Dak. I was like, cool,
go for it.
I'll take Dak for 5 more years. So
100%.
Give me the Giants. Kirk Cousins is a masterclass choker. We know that already. I think Minnesota is going to be in a weird situation this offseason where they're probably going to look at trying to get into like a new quarterback, a younger, better quarterback, but having difficulty because of Kirk. Yeah, Dalvin Cook, I love him, but
he's in this year he's been solid, man. Hasn't been getting hurt too much, but he's been limping off the field a little too much. He's finishing games, but there's not so much. You can't do too much with that guy. He's very limited right now. I don't see him showing up in the playoffs. But yeah, so we can't really go after this. So I guess we'll bring it up next week and see who's winning with what.
Dallas, Tampa. We're not bringing that one up.
Come on, dog. Tampa Bay, baby. Let's go.
You know my opinion on it?
No.
As the Eagles fan who hates Tampa, Dallas,
I'm just so used to the Bucks being not used to. The last year or two, I've been blessed because we've had Tom Brady. This game, I don't know who's going to win. Tom Brady is I think 9-0 against Dallas, 7-0 in his career.
Yeah.
But last year, or the first game of the season, we broke his thumb. That's why we stopped. He got hurt. We also lost 3 more linemen and 2 defensive linemen since then. Their offensive weapons are nasty, man. Pollard that guy's a freak athlete. Zeke's not really doing much. So I'm not really scared of Zeke, but he can still chew up yards. And then their wide receiver, CeeDee Lamb, is just he ain't that nice either. And our backfield is just our guys. They haven't been shutting down much of anything. We barely beat Arizona.
Well, we barely beat Arizona too.
But come on, man. So I'm going Bucks because that's my team. But we play the Eagles next, and I don't think we stack up against Eagles. I think that game's over by halftime. But I am going Bucks beating Dallas. because I think Tom Brady's on a mission, but I think he's on a mission just to show that he still has it. But I don't think he has enough to get past Eagles. Let alone if we beat the Eagles, I would be more excited than winning the Super Bowl. Just to put that in your face. But if we did beat the Eagles, I don't see how anybody can stop the Niners right now. And besides the Eagles, so if it doesn't go Eagles versus Niners, I see the Niners going to the Super Bowl if the Eagles lose to us. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And then on the other side, I see it going Bengals, Kansas City, and I'm rooting for the Bengals, but I think Kansas City can't. Patrick Mahomes, the Magic Man, you pretty much can't.
Yeah, Patty, yeah, man.
He don't do anything normal, but he does it amazing every time he does it. So can't root him out on that one.
Yeah.
But besides that, man, football wise, it's wrapping up so fast, dude. This year I feel like just flew.
It's NBA season, man.
Yeah,
I'm
man.
excited. My boy Jimmy Buckets did work last night.
Yeah, he's kind of overrated. You know what I'm saying?
He's the most underrated player in the league.
I know. I'm a big fan of him. So I hate that. I like Jimmy Buckets. I'm not a Heat fan, but I would like to see him get one because people shit on that dude all the time.
Yeah.
Makes me sad. I want to see score standings. I want to see standings, NBA standings. Where are you guys at right now? NBA
Probably the 8th seed. Probably the 8th seed, I think. Let me look.
Let me see. Eastern.
Yeah, we're the 8th seed right now. But there's reasons why. I can get into it. I'm not going to.
What do you guys think you guys end up at after everything?
Unfortunately, with how the beginning of the season went, I think we end up towards the bottom, 6, 7, or 8 seed. Really? But I think we can beat any one of these teams in the playoff picture. Anyone, at our best.
Yeah, I can see that. I am a Celtics fan. We're 30-12. We did go on a little losing streak, but we're back up right now. 4-game winning streak.
30-12. Losing streak.
See, it's disrespect. You better watch your tone. And Tatum's on the court. You know what I'm saying?
Tatum's nice. He's like one of the top 100 players in the league or something like that. But
that fool is the number I think he's right now. He's number 6 for MVP voted.
That's not very high.
It's not bad. I didn't see
it's not bad, but it's not very high.
I didn't see any Miami Heat players.
Miami Heat players will never because we're not flashy players. Yes. Except for LeBron. It is.
But you can't the creepers, man. The Nets, the Bucks, the 76ers. The one team that's kind of surprising me, maybe I didn't get into my knowledge for basketball this year.
Pacers.
No, not even them. The Cavs, dude. The Cavaliers.
Mitch. That's Donovan Mitchell, man.
Yeah, but I didn't think they were going to be. I didn't think they were going to be beating the Pacers, or I didn't think they were going to be banging with they're one game behind the Bucks, one game behind the 76. I don't know how they're behind the 76ers. 76ers only have 25 wins. But they're
this gameplay, I think.
Oh, okay. They're any other week they could be in first or second place. You know what I'm saying? I didn't think they were going to be that much. I thought they were going to be maybe 8, 9, not 5. A couple games away from being 1. I know it is still kind of early, but
no. He my words very carefully here, okay?
Yeah.
In the Eastern Conference, in the playoff picture currently, and I'll put the Bulls and Raptors next. They probably will make it, to be honest with you. Actually, maybe not. Point being, I am confident playing any team on this list except for the Cavaliers.
Why is that?
Because Cleveland has a freaking squad, dude. They got Jarrett Allen, who can compete with Bam. They got Karis LeVert off the bench, or starting either way, who can compete with Hero. He could score anybody else could. Yeah. They got Donovan Mitchell, man, who's putting up 30 for sure. 30 for sure.
Nice.
And they have other players. I'm not even thinking now. Let me see. Cleveland Cavaliers.
This one's playing a shitload of minutes, though.
Oh, Darius Garland. Evan Mobley. This is a team that's young and it's going to be crazy good for a while.
Check it out. This fool Mitchell had 71 points against the Bulls, 20 against the Suns, took a day off, against the Nuggets, 22 against the Suns, 46 against Utah.
Mm-hmm.
He played the first game, the Bulls game played 50 minutes, 36 minutes, 30 minutes, 36 minutes.
Yep, that
And he's
boy's
putting
nice,
up
man.
he's doing rebounds. He got 5 rebounds against the Jazz, 2 against Suns, 6 against Suns, 8 against the Bulls. Yeah, I just maybe slept on the Cavs. I didn't think they were gonna do. It's crazy
Yeah.
that Kevin Love is still there. But I wonder what
And
he's doing.
playing
Yeah,
actively.
is he playing, or is
Yeah,
he
he's
just
playing.
kind of like
Nice
being
playing.
the assist guy? Yeah, he's doing all right. 6, 4, 10, 6, 12.
Yeah, but the minutes,
He's
he's playing the
more.
minutes to the point.
He's playing minutes 18, 18, 24, 22, 38. He's playing minutes, but he's also 35 or 34. He's never really been a super athletic player.
Yeah, old man.
But yeah, he's definitely an old man.
That's the East. The West, I think, is and so for the East, I think I'm not gonna lie. I think every year Miami's the best team in the league. But realistically speaking, this year in the East, honestly, Boston and the Bucks, man, those teams are just in Cleveland. Those teams are just otherworldly. I think Brooklyn, uh, they have Katie and Kyrie, so I mean, of course they have a chance. But the depth
Yeah.
that Cleveland, Boston, and the Sixers have is kind of unreal. And
Yeah, I was gonna say.
at our healthiest, Miami has good depth too. But we can't keep anybody healthy this season, man. It's crazy.
Look at you guys' roster.
Yesterday when we won that game, by the way, Jimmy
Yeah.
was the only starter. All 4 starters were out with injuries. That we've been hurt the whole year, man.
Dang. How many minutes did he play?
Like 35, maybe 36. Let me see.
Jimmy. Oh, Jimmy. I didn't. Dude, Jimmy looked like Hopkins in this shit. I couldn't even tell.
Oh, you saw Dread Jimmy?
Yeah, they still have Dred Jimmy, and he already cut it.
Yeah, he only did it for picture day, which is the funniest thing.
I don't know why I love Jimmy.
I love him,
He's so awesome, dude.
38 minutes he played.
Yeah, 38 minutes. He's not old, but he's also not the spring chicken. 38 minutes is pretty good.
No, I think Jimmy. I don't think. I'm pretty confident Jimmy doesn't want to be like this guy that has to play this many minutes and get 35 points to win. He wants Hero to score. He wants Bam to score. He wants Lowry to dish. He wants the ball on someone else's hands other than himself. But Jimmy can do Jimmy things when it comes down to it. End of the day, Jimmy just wants to win.
Hell yeah, Jimmy and if Celtics, like I said last year, if Celtics are in it, I think it was last year, right? So if Celtics are not in it, I want the Heat to win it because I am a Butler fan. I don't care about anybody else in here. I was a Kyrie Irving fan, but Kyrie got one already. You know what I mean? So I really would like Jimmy to get one. What do you think about the West, man? What do you got for the West?
Yeah, the West is interesting this year, man. Super. So I'm gonna come out and say, what I've kind of been saying that no one really takes serious, but hopefully someone will in this audience.
Yeah.
The Pelicans are in my opinion, healthy Pelicans team is the best team in the West, besides the Clippers and Suns. So I mean, I know the Warriors. They're the Warriors. I get it. I think last year they got one hot at the right time because they did towards the end of the season.
Yeah, they did.
And 2, there was a chip on the shoulder from a lot of people last season, mainly named Klay Thompson. Klay, Andrew Wiggins, Jordan Poole, they all had something to prove last year. This year, they still want to compete to win, obviously, but it's different. Wiggins doesn't have that killer last year. Wiggins was killing it, dude, killing it.
Mm-hmm.
Jordan Poole has been up and down, right? The consistency of last year at the end of the season has been wishy-washy. Steph's been hurt, so I mean, nothing to say bad about Steph. Clay's been playing well, so Clay's Clay. I just think that the Pelicans have the most depth. They have between CJ McCollum, Brandon Ingram, Zion Williamson. That is a squad to be reckoned with. Their starting 5 is crazy. And then they had guys like Jackson Hayes. They have guys like Herb Jones, Jose Alvarado. Like, they have good defenders and they have good offensive pieces. And Zion's been that. When Zion plays, he's Zion, dude. Like, he plays well.
He just needs to stay healthy, dude.
Yeah. The Suns are nice. I mean, Booker's been out. Chris Paul's been hurt. I think at one point Bridges was hurt. Cam Johnson's hurt. So I mean, basically
that's what because I kind of went on a little bit of a slide lately. They were killing it. Now they're kind of hurting, but they're still holding in there. Yeah, they barely lost to you guys by 10 with some hurt players. They lost to the Cavs. They beat the crap out of the Golden State.
Right,
Right
that's
now
first
they're
game back too.
yeah, and they're in the second quarter right now, and they're losing 47-66 to the Nuggets. But
Yeah,
um,
yeah. Booker's missing is very apparent.
yeah, but the Nuggets are not
And
nice
even
either.
Cam Johnson. I mean, but the problem with the Suns is going to be that they're going to be doing so bad until Booker comes back that they might not get higher than the 5 or 4 seed, which puts them playing against a really tough team.
Yeah,
I don't think they want to see Dallas. They want to see
no,
Dallas as late as possible. Um,
for sure, because that's their kryptonite right there, man.
yeah, I think the Nuggets they'll be okay against playing in the series. The Pellies, I don't
For
think they're
sure.
gonna. The Pellies, I think, are the better team, but the Suns aren't
Hmm.
like scared of them or anything like that. I think as long as the Suns can avoid Dallas, then they'll be okay going into the playoffs. But they're gonna have to go through the gauntlet for the first 2 rounds to get to the Western Conference Final, if they
Yeah,
get a seed lower than 5 or at 5. So the
yeah,
Kings, though, man.
dude. I'm looking them up right now, dude. They're not
Mm-hmm.
messing around, dude.
Yeah, and
Their
Fox and
guys,
Sabonis are killing it this year.
yeah, dude. And I'm looking it up right now, and I'm like, gosh,
That was
they,
probably the team that was like, wow, this I didn't see this coming because they made some trades last year.
but nothing crazy.
Sabonis, right? Besides him, I I didn't think they're going to be this good, dude. They're not just a good team. I actually like they remind me of a team I like watching. Like remember the old Warriors,
Yeah,
like when Steph first broke out on this, not Steph, but
yeah,
when
like
that team
yeah,
first
I
came
get what you're
together
saying.
and broke out, I was like, this team's
Yeah,
fun to watch. I like watching the Kings, man. I like watching them.
yeah. Like right now, my team that I like to watch, and I know they're I shouldn't be saying this, but the team I like to watch right now is the Bucks. I enjoy watching them. I feel like they're the new. I don't want to say Golden State, but when you watch them, I really enjoy it. You know, besides my Celtics who are putting up highlight reels on everybody, um, I really enjoy the Bucks. And anytime there's a Bucks game on, a Nets game on, I'm trying to watch. And then I really enjoy the Grizzlies because it's like with
Yeah,
the Grizzlies, they
Ja,
just
man.
dude, he's added so much to that franchise that just I
It's
hope he
crazy.
gets his bag, dude. I hope he gets a bag.
Yeah, overall
But
though, it's I do think it's the most competitive season in a long time. Like I
yeah,
think
man,
a lot of these teams could win the championship.
there's no team that's like that super team where just like who's playing against the Golden State Warriors this year. You know what I mean?
Mhm.
It's yeah, dude. What do you think about the Lakers right now?
Yeah, they have a lot of work to get done. The
Yeah, dog.
the conundrum with the Lakers the last I don't know year and a half, 2 years has been we want to get better but we can't because they trade everything away for Anthony Davis, dude. Like they have no assets to trade, and the players they have aren't worth trading for to get what they want. Um, I think the health issues of Davis are really, 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 really like they should trade him last year when they had some kind
Yeah,
of
they
value
should have
for him.
when he fell when he yeah he didn't produce. Period. They should have. I don't know what LeBron's doing, dude. He's just destroying his. I don't want to say legacy because
What can
it's
Brown
LeBron
do?
James. Yeah, but at the same time, it's like
What's LeBron supposed to do, man? Palinka's not making any moves. Palinka can't make any moves. LeBron's
but you
putting
don't
up
think this is
30 a night.
but you don't think this is Braun's like fault because of him kind of like structuring his own team.
Why do we
You know what I
think
mean?
that? Because some reporters said it that have no affiliation with the Lakers. The,
Sure, I
the
don't know.
the common thing that people have been saying for years is, "Oh, LeBron made this team," but it's like that's not true. Just because LeBron comes to a team that's made doesn't mean he
Yeah,
made the team. And just because he said go get Anthony Davis, and,
because
and
this
let's be
dude's
let's be let's be clear here. If you want to credit LeBron for that, credit him for a championship to the Lakers franchise in a long time because because of him and what he did.
oh yeah.
So
But I'm not saying that's my argument. If he got to create the championship team, I'm pretty sure he has his foot in the door when he's like, hey, this is what we're doing here. I
I don't
wouldn't
think he did.
doubt.
I don't think he did. I don't think he did any of those things. I think he just said, Lakers, I'm coming. Give me another player. Davis became available on the market. He said, "Give me Davis," and then that's it. That was the end of it. The Russell
Yeah,
Westbrook thing, dude. If we know anything about LeBron James, it's that his IQ is tremendous in the game. He's a smart
yeah,
player.
one of
He's
the
an
best.
evolving player. He has probably the highest IQ of any player ever, including
Yeah,
Jordan. Um,
You think you put his IQ up there? Yeah, I can see that. I
IQ,
can see that.
IQ
Yeah, IQ.
specifically. Maybe
Okay, I can
Kobe.
see that.
Kobe's probably the only person above him, IQ wise. Only IQ.
Yeah.
Um, you think LeBron saw Westbrook? Oh, this is going to be a good fill in for us. He really fits our structure of basketball here. No, man.
Yeah.
Everyone can see from a mile away this team, the way it was structured and what they needed, wasn't going to cater to Russell Westbrook playing with them well. And I think LeBron, although he didn't say don't get him, he also didn't say get him. The other things that have happened, like letting Dennis Schroeder go, well, that's kind of his fault. But Taylor Horton Tucker, the little white kid, Alex Caruso, like Kuzma, letting those guys go was like
Yeah.
LeBron didn't say get rid of these guys, right? Like so we
Yeah, because
can
I
bring
was
in these bums.
because I'm looking at the lineup right now, dog, and they're like dudes are trash. You're looking at
Yeah,
their
Matt
points scored.
Reeves, I think, or something
Yeah,
like
dude,
that.
there's some terrible pickups, but
Austin Reeves.
it is. Yeah, I'm not a Lakers fan, so I hope they get last place and never rebuild. I really think LeBron's waiting to play with his son, and then he's going to ride into the night. I think he should. He did has a great career. He I feel like next to Jordan changed the basketball culture. He empowered a lot of NBA players to do certain things. So as much as I am not I'm not a LeBron James fan. I feel like he is very hypocritical, but I do credit him for the culture of the NBA and how things move. LeBron did he set the tone for professionalism, and yeah, he's a lot of these dudes should give him credit for that. But
Yeah.
I would love to see him retire already. I would love to see him take
Yeah,
that step out.
he wants to pass that cream record. He's gonna get it this season. And then he wants to play with his son, I think. And
Yeah.
I think
But Bronny, what, has 3 years? 3 years still?
no, Bronny has like a year left. Maybe
Oh, really?
2. Yeah.
Oh,
I
I thought he
Bronny,
had 3 years because I thought he
remember
still.
you can do one and out in college. Nothing.
Yeah.
So I mean LeBron the player, man, my favorite player of all time.
Yeah.
Although I will say Giannis is creeping up there. I love me some Giannis
Yeah.
Antetokounmpo.
Giannis is dope. I like that. Giannis.
My opinion, the best player of all time from a skill standpoint. LeBron the
Good
person
starter.
that it's irrelevant to me. Every player in any sport that I see, I'm going based on how good they are skill wise when I rank them in these
Yeah.
places. And LeBron's people say, "Oh, not even top 3, not even top 5."
No,
Stop
come on.
the BS.
Okay.
He is top
Even
2.
if you're a hater, no.
He's
Even
either
if you're
1
a
or
hater,
2.
no.
There's no
In
in
my
between.
book, he's 3. But I would say I would call everybody a liar if you put him out your top 5. You know what I'm saying? Like I could hear people's arguments putting him at 5, 4, 3, 2. I don't think 1,
Ugh.
but I have him in 3, and MJ, Kobe, and LeBron.
It's because you're from that era. I get it.
I
It's
guess.
and me being from his era, right? It's what's the same
Yeah,
argument
for
you
sure.
can make. But
Yeah.
the Kobe, listen, this is gonna sound blasphemous and crazy, and whoever wants to
Put
make me
respect
I
on
don't
his name.
care. Rest
Yeah.
in peace, love Kobe. Wasn't
Yeah.
tears like everyone else when he died. Sorry. This is gonna sound crazy, but before you just like take it out of your mind, think about it for a second, okay?
Uh-huh.
Is LeBron better than Dwayne Wade?
Yeah.
Not like Dwayne Wade's very best, like his peak, his prime. Is he better than Wade?
Like LeBron's best season versus Dwayne Wade's
Yeah,
best
just
season.
peak, like they're the very best version we've seen of those players. Is LeBron better than Wade?
I would say LeBron is better than Wade.
Okay. Then you have to say, this is gonna sound crazy to you, that he's better than Kobe. Because at their very, 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 very best basketball, Dwayne Wade, in my opinion, is better than Kobe Bryant. I'm talking from a talent perspective, like a skill wise. Take championships out of this BS. All this stuff, it's like team based things or like, oh, the mentality. Take it all out of the equation. A skill standpoint, at his very best, Wade is a smidgen better than Kobe, which by default for me means that LeBron's better than.
Why? So is that your opinion, or is that like seasonal fact, like statistic wise?
Well, statistics are. If we get into statistics, it means that LeBron really is the best player of all time. but I don't want to do that to
No, I'm
anybody.
talking about the Dwayne Wade versus Kobe.
It's the eyeball test, and what I've seen from Wade is very best.
I don't know, man. I would have to argue that. I'm looking it up right now.
Let's see, where's his Kobe?
So it says his best years were. Doesn't give me a stat or anything.
Oh, this is 2011. Get that out of here.
Yeah, I'm looking for like his best year, like points averaged. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I'm trying to look right now. I'm pretty sure there was a percentages, best playoffs, no game minimum. So I mean, playoff wise, this has best playoffs, no game minimum. Kobe has 32.8 points per game. Wade 33.2. This is with LeBron there, by the way, and then this is with Shaq there, 2007. Rebounds per game 7.3 for Kobe, 7.1 for Wade. Assists per game 6.1 for Kobe, 6.8 for Wade. Steals per game 1.9 for Kobe, 2.2 for Wade. Blocks per game 1.5 Kobe, 1.6 Wade.
So it's close.
That's best playoffs. Yeah.
But
best season.
playoffs.
I'm trying to find
That's
best season
playoffs.
right now.
So best season Kobe is 05-06, and it's 35.4 points per game. Assist was 4.5. Then rebounds per game was 5.3, and then field goal was 45% field goal. That was Kobe's best
Best season.
Yeah, his best season's 2005, 2006.
Why does it say best playoffs? I was looking for best. Oh, right here, best season. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. So best season, points per game, 35 for Kobe, 30 for Wade. Rebounds, 6.9 Kobe, 6.4 Wade. Assist, 6.3 Kobe, 7.5 Wade. Steals, 2.2 for both. Blocks, 1.0 for Kobe, 1.3 for Wade.
And what year was that?
Kobe's was 06, and then Wade's was 09. Yeah, 09.
So they're very similar. Very, very similar. So it is
right.
It is I could see it. I think Dwayne Wade. It's Dwayne Wade, man. Dwayne Wade and
lovable guy.
Yeah, lovable guy. And like if I had to draft a team player, he's my guy. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I put him
like Steve Nash. Behind, like everyone likes him, you know?
Yeah, you have to pick him up. You know what I mean? And so I guess I could see your argument, how you could see it. If I'm building my basketball team, do I pick Dwayne Wade versus Kobe Bryant or over Kobe Bryant?
Probably
no.
Not. Yeah, probably.
If I'm picking Dwayne Wade over LeBron.
Stop. See, here you go. Now you're just being ridiculous. You know dang well that what's going to happen is if there's two teams, one's picking Jordan, one's picking Bron. The only person that I pick over LeBron is maybe Magic Johnson. Maybe.
So if you had first round pick, you're picking Bron first?
Yes,
your first round pick on the clock.
Is LeBron James. Yes.
And then your next
2010, 2011 LeBron James, actually.
Then your next pick would be Jordan, or would be Magic if you had second round pick?
Yeah, someone picked Jordan, I'd probably pick Magic next.
No, but if somebody picked Bron, and it's like any of all time players, you could pick anybody. You would go LeBron, Magic.
No, I would go LeBron, Jordan. Anybody would.
Okay. I was gonna
what I'm saying is like Jordan's gonna be taken, right? LeBron's the debated one here.
Either way, how you cut it, we both could be right and wrong because we're both giving LeBron, Kobe, and Jordan the respect that's given, and also how you play the game is completely different. Like I'm more of an aggressive basketball player, you know what I mean? Then I would say I would go more for Kobe and Jordan because I like scoring more, you know what I mean? Where
sure
I feel Braun has not better defense than Jordan, but I feel like I don't think LeBron has better defense than Jordan. But
Okay. Sure.
but if I'm playing aggressively, I would want LeBron on my team because he's a bigger body than Jordan or Kobe. You know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
he's not
Mine's
getting
real.
pushed around.
Mine's real simple. I want the person that's going to give me the most wins. That's to me, it's going to be LeBron James doing the most for the team. If it's like the whole big debate of like the all time thing is like people seem like, oh, this one player is going to be taking over, right? Like if we were to draft two different teams, like LeBron's not, it's not just going to be like LeBron, then a bunch of bums, and then Jordan and a bunch of bums. It's going to be like LeBron
Yeah.
with like Tim Duncan, and then like LeBron with like Steve Nash. So like
Yeah.
LeBron is just able to do more, in my opinion. Both like he can pass the ball better for sure. Is he a better scorer than Jordan? No, probably not. But can he keep up with Jordan? Yeah. Is he a better playmaker? By far. Is he a smarter player? By far. Is he a better defender? I think so. People cling on, not you. I'm just saying people in general cling on to the whole. Oh, does he have defensive player of the year? Because Jordan does, and it's like, okay, well. Is it easier to score in this era or is it easier to score in Jordan's era? And that's always the question because here's the fallacy that comes into play every time we talk about LeBron versus Jordan.
Mm-hmm.
Defense is easier, it's easier to score because it's harder to defend, right? Because of the way the foul rules are, you can't defend the same way you did in the 90s.
Yeah, for sure.
So I say, okay, cool. If it's easier to score and harder to defend, that means LeBron is playing in the defensive area that it's hardest to play in versus when Jordan's playing. So yes,
you're talking about
they can't both be true.
I get what you're saying. I get what you're saying. I don't think I get what you're saying, but you're saying that if you run into somebody, foul, they throw it, they call the whistle, foul.
It happens a lot, yeah.
Happens a lot. Well, most people are saying LeBron couldn't play in Jordan's era because he's not used to being checked when he goes to the board.
LeBron, but you're saying LeBron can't score the same way he would score now. And I'm saying Jordan can't defend now the same way he did back then because the rules are different. It's either easier to score or harder to defend or neither one. You can't have both.
So LeBron's best year for points average, rebounds, all that jazz. He's never broken 31 points per game. Oh, I take that back. His best year was 05 to 06 with the Cavs, and he was averaging 31.4 points. I don't
that's
see.
And it's not like 32 or 35 like Jordan had, but that's not a little bit.
Yeah, it's not a little bit, but it's good. But I just don't see the scoring attributes from him.
No, I'm not, and I think Jordan's the better scorer, so that can be dismissed.
I'm looking at rebounds, but he is averaging a shitload of rebounds. His average 5, 7, 7, 6, 7, 7, 7, 7, 7, 8, 6, or 7, 6, 7. His rebounds are up there. You know what I mean? His assists are up there. I think he's an overall more complete player than Jordan would be, and Kobe.
You're seeing it then. You agree then that's the case.
Yeah. I do agree with him.
I'm not saying that like the better winner is LeBron James. I'm saying the most skilled, talented player in the history of the NBA is LeBron because he can do everything. He's the only person I know of, besides maybe Magic, that can defend the 1 through 5 position well. Jordan can't do that. I get it. Jordan's a good defender, but one, Pippen was there to take a lot of pressure off of him.
Yeah,
and two, Jordan wasn't covering the 1 through 5. LeBron's put in different positions, including center sometimes.
But like if Jordan's not having to, if I'm not having to worry about Jordan's defending, because he's a good defender, I would put him up there.
Great defender.
Great defender.
Yeah.
But when we're talking about like playing straight up 1-on-1, that's kind of doesn't make any sense because totally different athletes, and I think Giannis would fucking destroy.
Or Luka or
Magic Johnson
Shaq.
Destroy. Yeah. The people who are not in the top 10 all-time scoring aren't going 1-on-1 with half the people.
Kyrie be really good.
Yeah, you know what I mean?
Game. Yeah.
So that's why I'm saying, as long as the speech it's not blasphemy where you're saying that LeBron's outside the top 5, I can almost agree. Yeah, I don't understand how people can say that. That's stupid to me.
Mm.
But yeah, LeBron is in my book in the top 3. I can understand the top 5, but anything out there, you're lying to yourself. Good, you know what I mean? Good luck trying to sell that.
At that point, you just hate him.
Yeah, you're just a hater, and then I don't even like him. And
Yeah.
you have to give him that kind of respect. Speaking about some craziness and weird stuff, I was on this weird, crazy website, and I was reading this. This is like daily blogs or daily current events. I didn't know that South Korea shot off a missile. They're doing like testing supposedly, and this picture came up of a rocket going in the air, but it didn't go straight up. It like zigzagged and kind of looked like some craziness. They had South Koreans calling in for a UFO scare. They had like hundreds of thousands of people call in because they thought it was a UFO scare. That's pretty crazy.
South Korea.
Yeah.
Guys, I open. Oh, that's we're not gonna get into that.
Yeah, it's pretty nuts. And then I was reading that because I saw it on my feed on Facebook, and then came across this Arizona police ticket driver. And we're from Arizona, the great state of Arizona. This lady got a ticket because she was in the HOV lane, and she had an inflatable Grinch in her passenger seat. And she thought the cops would not the cops would not. I got to show you the picture too, dude.
That's funny.
Yeah, I do. Watch. I got to show you the picture.
That's funny. And let me tell you, I thought about doing like something similar to that. Just because, dude, you Californians coming over ruining our traffic.
Look at this. Look at this. Look at that Grinch just sitting there. That's so awesome.
Who took the the trooper did?
The trooper did. That's awesome.
That's funny.
Dude, that's but really as funny. A cop, do you give this lady a ticket? Like, that's kind of funny. You know what I mean? I could see why you do it. But this, yeah.
I think you give her a slap on the wrist.
Yeah, you give her a slap on the wrist, you take the picture.
Just for the comedy of it.
Yeah, so this was that South Korean rocket thing. I know we're running a little late or running too long, but we'll wrap it up right here. But yeah, people were calling in because of this. That's pretty. I would call in too.
It does look. It's like different colors and everything too.
Yeah, dude.
I would call in.
And then being so close to North Korea, bruh. I see something flying in the air like that. I'm kissing my wife goodbye. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. But I thought this was funny because this is South Korea here, but South Korea just passed the.
Oh gosh!
Come on, South Korea! Like you hit a vote on this. Yeah, they can now import sex dolls.
Were they not able to import it before?
I don't. I guess not. Like, but you had a vote on that. Like,
yeah, this website's giving me a virus already. I can tell.
100%, dude. I'm about to get off this edit. This one's pretty funny too. I didn't get finished reading this, but this lady thought it was a chew toy. A Tasmanian devil. That's like crazy.
That's really funny.
Yeah. All right, let me clear off this before I get a virus on my computer. But yeah, man, I just thought that was pretty funny. I was looking for some stuff to talk about, but I came across that and I was like, when it says Florida man or Arizona woman, it's just like, it ain't giving me
going
nice.
Down. Yeah.
But man, that's our time for today. Dude, we hit an hour and some change. So let's sign it off. Oh man, this back is killing me.
Get that back fixed, man. Yeah. So another good episode, I would say. The lack of structure isn't really bothering me as much as it used to. But I'm okay with it. We're talking, we're going, we're just sitting down, having a conversation like we always do. We do this a lot, you and I. Which
we do.
I think people like
at the table or not.
Yeah, there's no cameras, there's no nothing. We just talk and talk about random things, which is why we're called Slightly Unqualified. So thanks everybody for listening. Thanks for everybody who watched on Twitch. Everyone listening now, thank you. Shout out to you. You can find us on Twitter, Instagram, Twitch, YouTube.
Yeah, man.
And TikTok.
We don't do much on TikTok. We're gonna start trying to post. We're gonna get into it. The sharing helps. Everything helps. Subscribing, liking, sharing, even making fun of us. Things that we could fix and help and change. It's all gravy. We take everything with a grain of salt so we can get better. Appreciate you guys.
Show for show.
Good night.
Adios, y'all.
Later, laters.